Revision, how to get it right. This is one of our screencasts in the AGS Success series. For revision to be effective, we need to get the following right first. Firstly, preparation. We need to be prepared, we need to know where our notes are and what we need to revise. We need to be consistent. This means regular learning with manageable amounts. And we need to be determined. Nobody loves revision, it's hard work, and we've got to find ways to keep ourselves going. Motivation is really crucial so that we don't give up. So step 1. Firstly, you need to understand the exam. This means you need to know what topics are going to come up in the exam, the types of questions you'll need to answer, and how marks are awarded for answers. You should be going through this in class and you should be able to tell which topics you need to revise from what you've studied over the GCSE course. If you're unsure, it's vital that you speak to your class teacher to get this information before you begin. You don't want to waste time learning material that you don't need. Step 2. Find your right time to learn. Now this varies from person to person. Okay. You need to find which time of the day suits you best. Are you a morning person? Should you get up half an hour earlier and do yours then? Are you somebody who finds it hard to motivate themselves later on in a night? Should you do yours straight after school? Or are you somebody who needs to relax after school and do theirs later on an evening? You need to think about when you feel most positive, because a positive attitude is going to make revision a lot more effective. Step 3. Make your learning regular. This means learning manageable amounts regularly. In order to ensure that this happens, you need to make a plan and stick to it. A good revision timetable is absolutely crucial. We've put together another screencast on how to put together a really good revision timetable, so have a look if you're unsure how to do it or if you want to check that you've got it right. Step 4. Relax before learning. Relaxation before learning is absolutely crucial if we're going to be really focused. We need to focus our mind on our studies and forget all of the other things that are going on, which can distract us. Our brain needs oxygen to function effectively, so taking some deep breaths or a slow walk around can get that blood and oxygen pumping, which is going to make revision much more effective, and it's going to take us a lot less time to learn what we need to learn. Step 5. Share your revision. Now, revising in big groups means there's going to be lots of distractions and you're probably not going to use your time very effectively. However, friends can help cement your learning, and what I mean by this is it can make your learning stick. Okay, if you agree as a group of friends to all revise the same topic or topics one evening, the following day during lunch or break time you can discuss, quiz, test each other, and this really helps to make the information stick. Research has shown that when we verbalise, when we actually put into words our learning, especially when we put it into our own words, we're much more likely to remember it when we need it. Step 6, and a very important step, reward yourself. Nobody loves revision. We've got to try and keep ourselves motivated, so we need treats. So set yourself a target you need to achieve. This might be something along the lines of, I need to learn this much of this topic in 40 minutes or 30 minutes. Try and set yourself a time limit as well to keep yourself motivated, but don't stop until you get there. And when you have got there, give yourself a treat. This might be going on Facebook, it might be your favourite sweet treat, it might be having your dessert at that time. Okay, something that you really like doing, only do it when you've actually met your objective. Step 7. Be organised. You need to know where your revision notes are and exactly what you need to revise. You also need to work in an organised environment. You don't want to waste time looking for information, so ensure you understand where the information is that you need to revise to save time. Step 8, feel positive. If you sit down thinking, oh, I'm not very good at maths, or I'm not very good at French, or I'm not very good at history, that negativity is going to mean that you're not very productive. It's been proven that a positive attitude, the I can do this, means that you'll be much more productive, which means you'll learn a lot more in a lot less time, which is what we all want. Step 9, choosing the right place to revise is really, really important, and it's something that a lot of us might not have thought about. This place needs to be, if possible, empty and peaceful. Empty, just the equipment and the notes and things we need to actually revise, so we're not distracted, so we haven't got the TV on, our mobile phone isn't next to us, and peaceful. Some people argue that they can work better with music, and that's fine if that's for you, but a really peaceful, calm environment really helps us learn. We need a flat surface. We've already established that the brain needs oxygen to work, so lounging around and lying on a bed isn't where we are our most productive. If we're sitting at a flat surface, we're going to learn a lot more quickly. Space, you're going to have revision notes, you're going to have equipment, you might have textbooks. We need space to be able to spread out what we need for each revision session. And it needs to be well lit. Nobody can study in a dim, dark environment. We need to be able to see properly to avoid getting headaches. And finally, step 10, and this is really, really important that you take note of this step. A lot of research has been done into how our memory works and how we can make information stick. And it's been proven that reading through revision notes over and over again and highlighting key points does not work. We must quiz and test ourselves if the information is going to move from our short-term memory into our long-term memory. If we keep reading through the information, it's not going to stick. It's that process of actually reading through something, trying to learn it, and then quizzing or testing ourselves to retrieve the information which actually cements our learning. So once we understand how memories are made, we can work more effectively. Now, you need to vary this quizzing and testing technique to keep revision interesting. If you do the same thing all of the time, you're going to become bored, demotivated, and you're not going to revise. We've made a number of screencasts on different quizzing and testing techniques that you could use, so watch them, try them out, and see which ones work best for you. A really key part of revision is you explaining your learning at the end of your session. So once you've set yourself a goal, might be to revise so much history in half an hour, once you think you've got there before you move on, cement your learning by explaining what you have learned in that half an hour. Now it's really good if you can verbalise this out loud. You can sit and talk to yourself in your bedroom whilst you do it. You could explain it to somebody else. Friends come in handy here. If they're revising the same thing, you could speak to each other. Or you could record yourself on your phone saying out loud from memory what you've learnt so that you can listen back to it. Again, research has shown that the more we put our learning into our own words and say it out loud, the more likely we are to remember it at a later date. So, you've got 10 tips there, so now it's time to get started. Watch your other screencasts, see which techniques you're going to use, put together your revision timetable, and you need to set yourself some targets. You need to do your absolute best to achieve them, and that way you'll ensure success in your exams. So good luck, and we hope you find the series of AGS screencasts we've put together useful for your revision and your exams.